Here we go, grade 9 students. In this presentation, we're going to study the reactions between the hemoglobin and the different respiratory gases, oxygen and carbon dioxide. And we're going to distinguish between the synthesis and assimilation reaction. Activity for transport of respiratory gases. As we know, the blood entering inside the lungs, it has dark red in color since it's poor in oxygen. While leaving the lungs, they are going to be supplied with oxygen, so they are going to have bright red in color since they are rich in oxygen. How are these gases transported? By blood. Blood is composed of plasma 55%, white blood cells platelets less than white 1%, and the red blood cells about 45%. You have to know that the hematocrit is the percentage of the percentage by volume, sorry, of red blood cells in the blood. So here we have some properties about the red blood cells. They are disc-shaped, they are anucleated, they have 5 million red blood cells per millimeter cube, and they contain a protein called hemoglobin of symbol Hb. They can bind Hb hemoglobin, can bind to oxygen or carbon dioxide. Observe the experiment performed in document D of page 45 to interpret the results. Air plus blood, it gives bright red color. Vacuum plus blood, it gives dark red color. Bright red is due to the availability of the oxygen. Dark red due to the richness in carbon dioxide and since it's poor in oxygen. Part 3, flask 3, oxygen plus blood, it gives bright red color. So the brightness inside the air is due, inside the blood of flask 1 is due to the presence of oxygen in air. So in flask 1, where air flows, the color of the blood is bright red. While in flask 2, where there is no air vacuum, the color becomes dark red. This indicates that component of air, when in contact with the blood, gives the blood its bright red color. In flask 3, where oxygen flows, the bright color of the blood is restored. This indicates that the presence of oxygen, which is found in air, is responsible for the bright red color of the blood. How are these respiratory gases transported? By hemoglobin. Either forms, we have different forms of transport of oxygen and different forms of transport of carbon dioxide. Oxygen is transported into two forms. First one in form of oxyhemoglobin, form 98%, and in the form of oxygen dissolved in plasma, about 2%. Carbon dioxide is transported into three forms: carbohemoglobin form, HbCO2, 20%, form of carbon dioxide dissolved in plasma, about 10%, and the form of bicarbonate dissolved in plasma, about 70%. So here we have the medium that's rich in oxygen gas, lungs, reaction of the oxygen. Word equation: oxygen plus hemoglobin, 4 oxygen plus hemoglobin give oxyhemoglobin. The chemical 4O2 plus Hb give HbO8. This is in a medium rich in oxygen. Oxygen is going to be converted into oxyhemoglobin when binding to hemoglobin. In the medium that's poor in oxygen, like the tissues, HbO8 oxyhemoglobin is going to be dissociated and releasing O2. So the word equation is oxyhemoglobin gives 4 oxygen plus hemoglobin, the opposite of this equation. That's why this reaction is said to be a reversible reaction. Medium rich in O2 is going to give oxyhemoglobin. Medium that's poor oxyhemoglobin is going to be dissociated into hemoglobin plus oxygen. This is the chemical equation also. You should be drawn like this, meaning that it's irreversible. It's non-stable, or it's called unstable reaction, because hemoglobin binds oxygen in a medium rich in oxygen and releases it in a medium that's poor in oxygen. In the medium that's rich in CO2, carbon dioxide will bind to hemoglobin to give carbohemoglobin. So in the form of carbon dioxide, as I said, is binding for hemoglobin to give carbohemoglobin, and in the medium that's poor in CO2, like the lungs, HbCO2 carbohemoglobin is going to dissociate and release CO2. That's formed in this equation. General reaction: carbon dioxide plus hemoglobin in a medium rich in CO2 is going to give carbohemoglobin, while in the medium poor in CO2, dissociate into hemoglobin plus carbon dioxide. This is general reaction. The reaction between carbon dioxide and hemoglobin is a reversible and unstable reaction, as hemoglobin binds carbon dioxide in a medium rich and releases it in a medium that is poor in carbon dioxide. As a conclusion, atmosphere, we're going to have O2 by inhalation. The lungs, oxygen is going to bind to get by the hemoglobin to give oxyhemoglobin. Oxyhemoglobin gives the bright red color. Then oxygen is going to be delivered to the tissues. CO2 is going to be released, and then the carbon dioxide is going to be released by exhalation. Reaction of carbon monoxide with hemoglobin. Carbon monoxide present in smoke, it binds in an irreversible stable manner to hemoglobin and prevent the binding of oxygen and carbon dioxide. As such, less oxygen is going to be delivered to the cell. This is a very important note. And this will lead to less energy, carbon dioxide accumulation in these tissues, leading to intoxication. The equation is CO plus hemoglobin gives HbCO. The aspect of the blood entering and leaving. Blood entering the lungs is dark red in color than the blood leaving, which has bright red in color. Since entering the lungs, the blood is full of oxygen, while leaving the lungs is going to be rich in oxygen, meaning that rich in oxyhemoglobin, having bright red color. Aspect of the blood entering the organ to that leaving the organs. Blood entering the organ is brighter red in color than blood leaving them. Since entering the organ, the blood is rich in oxygen, meaning that it's rich in oxyhemoglobin, while blood leaving the organs is going to be poor in oxygen, meaning that it's poor in oxyhemoglobin. We have two types of blood circulations. We have pulmonary circulation, where the circulation is between the lungs and the heart. It aims to oxygenate the blood and to get rid of CO2. While systemic circulation, it aims to transport oxygen and nutrients to body cells and to drain away their carbon dioxide and waste. It occurs between the heart and all the body organs. Also, we have two types of reaction in the body. Oxidation reactions, where we use oxygen and nutrients, basically glucose, to produce energy, and where waste, carbon dioxide, and water vapor are going to be released. Assimilation reaction, synthesis, where we use nutrients and energy to synthesize new organic molecules like proteins and carbohydrates.